Okay, we are on page 18 of the notes packet. These are the level 3 problems. There are going to be some things that we will need to fix in our notes packet, so make sure you make those corrections. So this first problem, I'm giving you two triangles, and we are going to assume that they are similar. So this will be written at the top of your paper. So go ahead and add this statement. So we're going to say that triangle KLJ is similar to triangle YZX. So that means all the angles are congruent and your sides are proportional. And there's one mistake here. So this one, instead of x squared minus 7, it should say x squared minus 6. Okay, the question is we need to find x somehow. Okay, let's go ahead and label everything that they tell us. So angle K is 4x minus 1. Angle L is 4x. So the angle is the inside. And angle Y, which is over here, is x squared minus 6. Okay, we need to find x somehow, and we need to also find angle A, angle L. Okay, so we're actually going to just do these two pieces. So first of all, because these are similar triangles, one of the things that I know is that the angles have to be congruent. So the only two angles that I have that match up are angle K, and you can look at the order of the letters, has to be the same as angle Y. So that means that these two pieces are equal. So if you remember, this is now going back to last skill. Anytime we have a problem with x squared, we always need to set equal to 0 to solve it. So we're going to move everything to the side that has x squared in it. So that means since this is a positive 4x, I need to subtract it. Anything I do to one side, I'm going to do the other. And since this is a minus 1, I'm going to add the 1. And what happens is on this side, I have 0. On this side, you want to make sure you're only combining the like terms and you put things in order. I have x squared, and then I want to write the x next. The only x that term I have is the minus 4x, and then the numbers I'm going to write at the end. Negative 6 plus 1 is a minus 5. So there's my equation. So now this is our trinomial that we worked on last skill. So remember, we need to multiply to negative 5, but add to negative 4. The only two numbers that multiply to negative 5 are going to be 1 and 5, but I need a positive number and a negative number. So in order to add up to negative 4, though, the 1 has to be positive, the 5 has to be negative. So these are my two numbers, and remember, we're going to go ahead and put those numbers in parentheses, x plus 1 and x minus 5. The only way it can be 0 is if x plus 1 equals 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. And we're going to just solve each one for x. So here, minus 1, we get x equals negative 1. And here, add 5, and we get x equals 5. So those are the two answers that we get for x. Now, we're not going to do this question. We're just going to find angle L. So if I want to find the measure of angle L, remember we need to take those x's and plug it back into what is L. L is 4x. So in order to find a measure of angle L, we're going to have to take these numbers and plug it into 4x. Now, notice though, if I plug in a negative 1 for the x, you get negative 4. You cannot have a negative number for the measure of an angle. So this answer actually is not going to work. But I can do 5. So if I do 4 times 5, I get 20. So 20 is the only answer that works. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's try the next one. Same idea, and this symbol got distorted. These should just be triangle symbols. So I'm telling you that triangle EDC is similar to triangle HGK, and I give you a bunch of information, so let's go ahead and label it. So CD, and since I'm giving you two letters, we're talking about the side, that's x. DE is this side, is negative x plus 12. And then KG is this side is 3. And then GH is x minus 3. So I labeled all the parts of the triangle. Now we want to find x and we want to find DE. So in this problem, we have to use the sides because those are the only pieces that have the x in it. Even though they give me the angles, we know what those angles are. So remember, we're going to start with the proportion. So pick one of the sides that has an x in it. So I'm going to use this side CD. So that's x. Now, I need to match up this side, CD, to a side on the other triangle. So look at your letters. Notice that CD is the last two letters in the first triangle. So that matches up with GK. So that's going to match up to 3 here. So there's my first ratio. Then I'm going to set up another ratio. So let's find another side. The only other side I have in the little triangle is negative x plus 12. So I'm going to put that on the top. And what does DE match up to? On the other triangle, it's HG, which is this side, which is x minus 3. So there's my proportion. How do we solve anything with a fraction equal to a fraction? We're going to cross multiply. So on one side, we have x times x minus 3. So remember, we have to put that in parentheses. On the other side, we have 3 times, again, we have to put all of this in parentheses. Now, we have to distribute to solve. So I'm going to multiply out. So I have x squared minus 3x. When I distribute or draw the arrows for multiplying, I have negative 3x plus 36. Okay, again, anytime we have a problem with x squared, we have to set to 0. And we always want to move everything to the side that has x squared in it. So I'm going to move all this stuff over. So that's going to be a plus 3x because it's a negative. And then we're going to do a minus 36 because that's a positive. This side becomes 0. I have the equal sign. Draw the line if you need to. On this side, notice the x's drop out. So all you're left with is x squared minus 36. So we have x squared minus 36 equals 0. So this is our difference of squares, if you remember. X, one's a plus, one's a minus, 6 and 6. And the only way it can be 0 is if x plus 6 equals 0, x minus 6 equals 0. And let's go ahead and solve. So minus 6. So I have x equals negative 6. Here, plus 6. So I have x equals 6. And then those are my two x's. But then notice in this problem, it also asked me to find DE. Well, what's DE? Let's go back here. DE is negative x plus 12. So we need to take these x's and plug it in. So if I plug in the negative 6, I have a negative still here, a negative 6 plus 12. So you're going to get 18 as one of your answers. And then the other number is 6. So I can also plug in 6. And if you do this, you're going to get 6 as the other answer for DE. So actually, you have two answers for DE in this problem.